Right, did that visual wake you up? And I hope it'll keep you awake for the next few minutes while I ramble on and talk about what happened at HRLT yesterday. Jane gave us an update on the manager challenge. We've got feedback from the Best Council Leadership event last week, where chief officers have now given their commitments in terms of how they'll support the manager challenge and the 2,500 managers that are going through the process over the next, I don't know, 9 months, etc. Do have a look at that, and I think check out with chief officers that they are doing some of the things that they say they are on that. There's also a final launch event scheduled for the 15th of July. What we've said there is that we're probably not going to be able to get everybody that wants to go on it. So try and prioritise in discussions you have with people about who would get the most out of attending that event in terms of not being able to go to the earlier launch events. So that's Manager Challenge. David Hornsby came and talked about the approach that we're taking to career families. Some of this is perhaps taken a little bit longer than we'd like to have done in terms of delays with particular restructures around the better business management area. But what he and others have developed in the meantime is a very sort of modern approach and template for describing job roles. And Emma Browse was also there to describe how we would link that into some of the technology that we've got in terms of interfaces with SAP and the Abacus system for recruitment. So that's good stuff, and again, hopefully we can share that widely with people to have a look at some of the development there. Emma also came as a guest to sit through the whole of HRLT, and she's the first of, I hope, lots of other people who will come along, and it's a chance to get some insight into how we approach things, how we discuss stuff, and how we make decisions. And I'd like to think that we were, not because Emma was there, but we behaved very well, and you can ask Emma herself about what she thought the HRLT experience was like. So that was good and useful as well. Sandra Dalton came and talked about the work she's doing on streamlining and making the disciplinary procedure a lot more slicker, and to put more emphasis on managers running that. She's going to be talking to the unions, hopefully with a view to agreeing something in I think it's next week. So again, we feel that if we can get that done, we've got a much better approach to how we deal with conduct things at work. Joss gave us an update about some of the stuff with the bargaining strategy, and as some of you know, we've got a key meeting with the trade unions today. So I think it's very much watch this space, and we'll be able to tell you more about it in the next period. Emma Browse also gave us an update about how we can use social media, which is why I've gone back to YouTube to communicate more effectively, and to how we can use some of the ideas that she's been looking at in terms of incorporating that into briefings and making them a bit more snappy, a bit more using the technology for in the right way, which probably again isn't necessary of this video. Trying to remember what else did we talk about. We had a discussion around the vacancies that we've got in schools and the need for backfilling elsewhere. It's because the numbers involved, it is quite complicated. So we've committed to putting a bit of extra time in next week to get really to the bottom of it. And again, what we've said before is that we'd like to think that some of that backfilling will lead to some acting up and maybe even some promotion opportunities for people. So we will be able to give you a lot more information, I hope, on that after our discussion next week. What else? Oh, finally, yes, one other thing that I think probably needs clarifying for people. It's been a little bit of confusion about the work that Daniel and Clint and Lorna and various other people have been doing with Alan Gay to come up with a better version of the truth in terms of what is the numbers of people and agency workers, etc., that we're getting from SAP and other systems, alongside the financial data, which doesn't always ring true and doesn't come together very well. We've got to a point where we're going to finish it off and we know what we need to do, but there's still some snagging that needs to be sorted out on the financial side. So we're working on that, and because of that, we will probably end up with launching that as a kind of Q1 position. In the meantime, we're going to have to continue with the scorecards as they are. Our view is that is a means of having a discussion with managers and chief officers and heads of service about how things are going and how things are progressing, and we don't necessarily expect tons and tons of narrative to be necessary. But the figures kind of speak for themselves. So the scorecards should be on SharePoint for you to use for May, and if you can continue with that, we'll hopefully be able to update you with things. I think that's it now. So I'm going to press the pause button and I'll upload this onto YouTube. So as I've said before, any feedback on this is really, really welcome, and I'm also leaving the challenge there for any of my other colleagues to attempt to do this. If I can do it, I can't see why they can't. Thanks a lot. Bye.